Hello everyone, I hope you're having a good day. Welcome to part 3 of my inverted free agents database football manager experiment, where I've swapped all the English divisions around and also removed every single player and manager at the start of this save. You can download the database from the Steam Workshop. The link will be in the description below. So we're up to season 3. I'm going to be doing 2 seasons in this part 3. If you haven't checked out part 1 and 2, please check that out first so you know what's going on. I'll put a link to that in the description below as well. But as always, we'll start with the Conference South, where Southampton won the 2016-17 season with 111 points, quite easily ahead of Fulham in second, and Reading were the team that actually went up in the playoffs, beating the likes of Fulham, Swansea and QPR to that promotion place. So a Championship team beating a current Premier League team in Swansea and QPR going up. Dorchester and AFC Hornchurch have gone down, along with Dagenham and Redbridge, who started in League 2 I think on this game, so they've dropped down a couple of seasons. It's not going well for them. As you can see, the likes of Cardiff have come back up again because they were relegated in the first episode. I'm not sure about Aston Villa. Let's have a look at them to see where they are. They're in the Conference North. So they started in the Conference South, I think, and they've moved into the Conference North since going back up. So Villa fans, I'm sure you're pleased that you haven't been stuck in the obscure football leagues below the Conference South and North. We've still got the likes of West Ham in here. They're the lowest Premier League team of this lot, I think. Top scorer, Capello, 26 goals for Watford. 21-year-old Italian. Juanfran is top assists for Watford as well. Let's have a look at some of the transfers, see what's going on down here. So there's a bit of money being spent, but that's actually up to the top division. So Stockport in the top division are spending money now. Anything else going on? We've seen a transfer from West Ham to Lowestoft. Southampton have spent a bit of money and going up. Let's look at their transfers. They've got Nick Barmby in charge. So they spent 11.5 million. They did sell £7 million worth of players, but they spent 11.5 in trying to get promoted to the Conference Premier, and it's worked for them. Let's just look at some of the manager movements throughout the season. We've seen Greg Ledbetter lose his position as West Ham manager, and Gary Megson come in. Peter Taylor losing the Ipswich job. Nigel Clough is now in charge of Fulham. Interesting stuff going on. So let's look at Southampton quickly in terms of their players, just the team that they have and top scorers and that sort of thing. Top scorer for Southampton, Zach Clough, 33 goals. 22-year-old guy who's looks very good actually. Started at Bolton. Callum Wilson also scoring plenty of goals for Southampton. Earning 23k a week in the Conference South is just crazy, really. Let's go up to the Conference North then. So, Man City promoted, third time lucky for them. Everton going up in the playoffs as well. Scunthorpe, Fleetwood and Rushall going down. Not good for those guys, especially Fleetwood and Scunthorpe. Jonathan Walters, top scorer in the Conference North for Derby. Shane Long, second for Man City. Wonder what they're paying him. They're paying 46k a week. Have a quick look at Man City. Manager is Zidane still 4.5 star reputation, but they've only got secure finances. They've still got the guys from United Arab Emirates in charge of the team. Their key player is Cauley Woodrow. They've also got James Wilson in that team by the looks of it. Some really good young players there. Let's go up to the Conference Premier, which was won by Tottenham. 2 points ahead of Man United, and West Brom actually beat Man United in the final of the playoffs. Newcastle and Liverpool losing out as well. So this is different. This is good to see actually, because we don't want Man United and Liverpool to go up straight away like before, because we want to prove that removing all the players actually has some sort of different impact on them, and there's a few differences in how long it takes teams to get up to the top. I have no doubt that they will get back to the top, especially Man United and Liverpool. But I want to see them struggle a bit just to get up there rather than just whiz up. We may see Chelsea and Arsenal fly up because they were the two teams that went up first. But we'll see we'll see what happens to them, I guess. We'll see if Tottenham and West Brom can whiz up the leagues now. Burton, Gillingham, Macclesfield and Mansfield going down from the Conference Premier. Top scorer Charlie Austin for Man United, 32 goals. Got a couple of England caps and a goal for them, earning 75k a week at Man United now. Aaron Creswell, top average rating, looks insane for Spurs, doing very well for them. John Flanagan, most assists for Newcastle as well. Interesting stuff there. Let's look at the transfers. So, Harry Kane going from Man United to Lowestoft for 22 million. Lowestoft have spent big. So, of course, we saw them win the first 2 Premier League titles. I think I'm right in saying that. Can't remember now from episode 2. But we'll see how they're doing in this 3rd season. Man United have spent 11.75 million though on Tom Ince, and Tottenham spent a bit of money trying to get promoted. In fact, a lot of teams have spent quite a bit of money trying to get promoted from the conference. League 2 then was won by Chelsea. 2 points ahead of Arsenal, who also went up automatically, along with Portsmouth. Luton went up in the playoffs. Nuneaton and Woking going down, but Chelsea unbeaten. No losses whatsoever. Arsenal 2 points behind, lost 2 games, didn't draw a single game, won 44 games. Troy Deeney, top scorer for Arsenal. Wasn't he somewhere else before? Yeah, he was at Chelsea. They signed him from Chelsea. Chelsea had Danny Ings scoring 30 goals. And then, in fact, this is good. We've seen the big English teams signing the best English players, I guess you could say. So it may benefit the England national team, the fact that Chelsea and Arsenal have signed all these English players. They've got Deeney, Ings and Welbeck, for example, up there. Has Troy Deeney earned any England caps? No. But he's done very well, hasn't he? He's done very well so far. Who's in charge of Chelsea, actually? Let's have a quick look. Ronald Koeman. And Arsenal have Camacho still. Jack Wilshere's their captain. Let's go up to League 1, which was won by Peterborough and Bradford just behind on goal difference, 122 points as well. Rochdale 121, only just missing out. But Oxford went up in the playoffs in the end. Aldershot, Alfreton, Welling and Braintree were relegated to League 2. Ross McCormack, top scorer for Peterborough, along with Stephen Fletcher. Those two have been insane, haven't they? They've been promoted 3 seasons in a row, I believe. Yeah, Conference, League 2 and now League 1. They are flying up the leagues. Bradford have also done the same. Don't know about Oxford. They've had a couple of promotions in a row. Let's look at the Championship, which was won by Southend. They've also had 3 promotions in a row. So a lot of these teams are really whizzing through the leagues. Carlisle doing particularly well. Shrewsbury also getting promoted in the playoffs. Bath, Worcester and Basingstoke going down. We've got the likes of Ebbsfleet, Hayes and Yeading. So a few teams, AFC Fylde, who did well in the last series. Dan Holman, top scorer for Shrewsbury. Danny Haynes and Dominic Knowles was joint second. Let's look at the transfers going on in the Championship. See what sort of money's being spent. So quite low fees going around in the Championship level. That may change at some point. Let's go up to the Premier League then. And Bristol Rovers have won it. So they've been promoted 2 seasons. Well, in fact, 3 seasons, 2 seasons in a row, and then won the Premier League with Sam Allardyce in charge. 99 points. They only lost 1 game all season. Stockport not far behind, nor Lowestoft. Both of them just 3 points behind. So those 3 seem to be the top 3 teams at the moment. There's a big gap down to Wrexham and Chelmsford City. Chorley, Whitehawk and Gosport going down. Whitehawk and Gosport and Chorley, they all did rather well in the last experiment, but Whitehawk are really struggling. What has happened to them compared to the last one? I think it really is just dependent on how well you do in the first season, as to how much money you get. Whitehawk got lucky last time round. Gosport also struggling, as we can see. Nigel Worthington in charge of them, but they both really flopped. Hyde haven't done particularly well, but they did survive. We've got Waldstone in there. Wow, Bristol Rovers then. Rich, 3-star reputation now. Stockport have Stuart Pearce in charge, 2.5-star reputation. And Lowestoft have Craig Fleming. Who's he? Pretty awful manager, but they've got Harry Kane. They spent a lot of money, I think. 40 million. Lots and lots of money being spent there. But the big man was Harry Kane, and then a few other players as well. How much did Bristol Rovers spend? Let's have a quick look. They didn't spend as much, actually. They haven't spent much at all. Chris O'Grady, who did so well with Everton, has moved to Bristol Rovers in the Premier League and scored 29 goals in all competitions. He has been insane. Wow, really strange. Who was top scorer? Harry Kane, 25 goals, and Chris O'Grady, there we go, both got 25 goals. Jed Wallace, top assists for Stockport, along with this guy, Sarkovic, English lad. So these are the top transfers in the Premier League. Lowestoft, it's the biggest one by a long way. So that's the only real big money spend we've seen so far, and it was for Harry Kane, who's got 3 goals in 8 games for England. Let's have a look at the England team now. Don't think they've got a oh, they do have a manager, this guy. He's got no picture, he looks good. They're 11th in the world. Just look at the team, see what's going on. Go to general info so we can have a look at the sort of teams in there. No unusual teams in there yet. We've got Leighton Baines playing for Juventus, Oxlade-Chamberlain at Valencia, and Rooney still at Lazio. Henderson's at Celtic still. But we haven't seen any of the actual Premier League teams currently in there. I mean, Harry Kane's not actually in the England team at the moment for whatever reason. The FA Cup was won by Arsenal 2-0 against Man United in the final. Capital One Cup won by Lowestoft 3-0, so that's a very good win for them in the Capital One Cup. Community Shield won by Liverpool on penalties against Lowestoft. Lowestoft just unlucky there. Johnston's Paint Trophy, Rochdale beat Chelsea 2-1 in the final. FA Trophy won by Man City against Man United. That is a clash. Let's look at the sort of players in there. Lewis Graben with a goal, Sessegnon with a goal as well. Wesley Fotheringham in goal for Man City. Champions League won by Barcelona, but I think we're probably interested in how our guys got on. Can't imagine they did particularly well. Lowestoft 1 point in that group. Any other English teams? Stockport 1 point. Next, we'll do one more season in this episode. Bishop Stortford 0 points, and we'll have a look at the club coefficients and that sort of thing. Go down to the Euro Cup, which was won by Galatasaray. Did any of the English teams manage to get out of their group? Probably not, but let's go down. St Albans, bottom of their group, 0 points. Liverpool 8 points in Group E. And Brackley bottom with 0 points. Here we are at the end of the 2017-18 season. Swansea are the champions of the Vanarama Conference South, 1 point ahead of Fulham, who've just missed out once again, and they actually lost the playoff final against Watford, so they're very unlucky for them. Watford did quite well as well, though, with 98 points. Canvey Island lose and Maidstone going down, but the likes of Redditch, Margate and Weymouth still in there, with these big boys such as West Ham still in this division. Plenty of championship teams in there as well. Top scorer was Lee Novak for QPR, scoring lots and lots of goals, but he's actually just gone to West Ham by the looks of it. West Ham had the top average rating and the top assists for those players, but they aren't doing so well, are they? They haven't managed to get promoted yet. Let's go up to the Conference North then. So, champions of the Conference North was Stoke City, 3 points ahead of Derby. Wigan actually won the playoff final against Derby in the end. Burton, Mansfield and Macclesfield were relegated. 3 Football League teams. FC United actually surviving above them, which is impressive for them. Well done to FC United there. We've got the likes of Blackburn, Burnley, Villa still down here. But they've actually made it back up. Of course, they got relegated at one point. Who's in charge of Villa now? Still Nigel Pearson. Scott Sinclair's their captain and key player. Reputation 1.5 stars. It doesn't look great for them, but perhaps they go up at some point. This is showing that there is differences in making a free agent database as well, because teams like Villa went down and struggled, and the likes of Man City haven't had it their way completely. They have just been promoted from the conference, so ahead of Man United. Now Man United have been in that division now. It's going to be their 3rd time in the Conference Premier. They've struggled to get out after their early success of getting promoted straight away, as you'd expect. But since then, They have struggled because Man City have gone up 2 points ahead of Man United, and Southampton have won the playoff final on penalties against Man United. So that's quite unfortunate for them, but well done to Southampton. Man United, how long will they spend in this division, along with Liverpool as well? So there really are differences. By this point, Man United, Liverpool, I think we're probably into League One by now. But they've struggled. Colchester, Chesterfield, Woking and Nuneaton going down from this division. Callum Wilson, top scorer for Everton. Charlie Austin getting 29 goals again, he's been good. Matt Loughton, top average rating. And Adam Clayton, who's at Everton, 28 assists. So let's go up to League 2, which is an easier division for our traditional Premier League teams to get out of. But when they get up to this point, they're likely to get promoted straight away, again with the 4 promotion places. Spurs, champions, quite comfortably, not losing a single game. West Brom also not losing a single game, so that's 2 successive promotions for both of them, as you would expect now. After the difficult bit is getting out that Conference Premier. Northampton also going up automatically, and Stevenage winning the playoffs. Morecambe and Alfreton going down to the conference. Top scorer Adam Lafondra for West Brom, 33 goals. Daniel Sturridge still at Spurs, doing well. Aaron Creswell has been insane since being at Spurs. He's had an incredible average rating every single season. He's also got joint top assists with Hessenthaler of Northampton. Diego Poye also in there for Spurs. I've got John Stones. Spurs obviously had dominated. Let's look at the team. We've got Carl Robinson in charge. Their captain is Aaron Creswell and vice captain is Diego Poye. And their key player is Daniel Sturridge. 3.5-star reputation. This is the squad. Let's just look at top scorer Daniel Sturridge. Then it's Anthony Hillier, a regen. Average rating wise, Aaron Creswell and John Stones up there. James MacArthur in the team as well. They've got a good squad and they should get promoted probably every season from now on. Arsenal and Chelsea, as you'd expect, easily going up from League One. 3 successive promotions for both of them now. Arsenal winning the league this time though, 155 goal difference. They lost 1 game and won the rest. Chelsea lost 1 and drew 1. It's only 2 points behind. Luton going up in the playoffs. 5 teams getting to 100 points. That is incredible. It sort of shows the gulf in class between the top teams and the bottom teams now in this division. Kidderminster, Barnet, Eastleigh, Gateshead all getting under 40 points and going down, which is quite poor at this level. Danny Ings, top scorer for Chelsea, 33 goals. Danny Welbeck doing well. Klein, best average rating, is at Chelsea. Jack Wilshere. Let's look at the transfers to see Arsenal and Chelsea dominating probably. Yep. Although it was actually a player going from Chelsea to Arsenal that was the top signing, Sean Morrison. That is a lot of money on him, isn't it? 19.25 million. What's going on there? Troy Deeney's gone all the way down to Man United from Arsenal. He's been at Chelsea, Arsenal and then Man United. Callum Chambers going from Arsenal to Stockport. So Stockport spending big. Asa Lowestoft again spending 10.25 million on Ross Barkley. That makes no sense. 10 million on Ross Barkley, but almost 20 million on Sean Morrison. Some strange transfers going on there. Chelsea have signed 2 players from Genoa. And Arsenal making big signings as well at League One level. Really quite crazy. Who's in charge of Arsenal? Still Camacho. 2.5-star reputation now for them. And Chelsea, still 4-star reputation. Philip Koku in charge. Phil Jones as their captain. Let's go up to League. Let's go up to the Championship then, which was won by Peterborough. They've had 3 successive promotions, I think, and so have Bradford. They're into the Premier League now. As are Oxford. I think they've been promoted a couple of times in a row. They've done well. 4 teams got to 100 points. Ebbsfleet missing out in the playoffs, as did Grimsby and Bromley. Solihull Moors, Barrow and North Ferriby have been relegated now. They didn't last long this time, did they? They actually had better finishes though, and then eventually relegated. Poor old North Ferriby. Top scorer was Velias for Bradford. Average rating Andrew Taylor for Peterborough, and most assists Anthony Grant for Grimsby. It's such a strange division, isn't it? Of all this mix of teams, but I guess the 2 bigger teams, Peterborough and Bradford, in there, the league teams and Oxford, have been promoted as you'd predict. And I guess next season it's easily going to be Arsenal and Chelsea going up once again. but there'll be an opportunity for another team to go up from that. So the Premier League was won by Lowestoft. Once again, 3 out of 4 times they have won it. They've become a dominant force in English football, finishing 4 points of Bristol Rovers. So will Lowestoft be able to hold off the threat of Arsenal and Chelsea when they inevitably get there in a couple seasons' time? We'll do another couple seasons in the next episode, and obviously the last season of that will be seeing Arsenal and Chelsea in the Premier League, most probably anyway. Oxford City going down. Oxford, the actual Oxford, the main Oxford team have actually just gone up, so they've replaced them. Wealdstone also going down, and Weston-super-Mare. Boreham Wood just about surviving with Hyde as well, despite having very low points totals. I mean, at the start of this series, we saw the top teams getting 68, 69 points, so it's very level. But now, since these teams like Lowestoft, Bristol Rovers, Stockport have had Champions League money, there's been a bit of a gap in proceedings, unfortunately. We've seen Chelmsford drop to 8th. They've finished in the Champions League places a couple of times. But we'll have a look at the cup competitions in a minute, see how these teams have done. Top goal scorer was Yusuf Poulsen for Stockport. Sam Byram top for Chelmsford, the ex-Leeds guy. I wonder how much he moved for. 11 million from Tottenham. Roberto Micholi, most assists along with Bigger Romana and Jordan Abita. Let's look at the transfers. What's happening in the Premier League nowadays? Biggest signing was Locales moving from Man City to Lowestoft for 21 million. Lowestoft are spending a lot of money. They are rich. They've got a 3-star reputation. Their captain's Harry Kane. Their key player is Mario Balotelli. Let's look at this Lowestoft team. They spent 66 million this year. That is incredible. Yeah, top signing. Lots of money being spent there. Mario Balotelli from Real Madrid for 9.5 million. So he must have gone there on a free at one point. Let's look at the team. Top scorer for Lowestoft was in fact Mario Balotelli with 38 goals this season. What a performance from him. Next was Viasic and Knockhart with 16. Harry Kane down in 11 with 11 goals in 14 games. Maybe he had a few injuries because he didn't play many games. Average rating wise, he was top in those few games he played. They've got Halovic, the Croatian wonder kid, who looks very, very good. Let's just look at the we'll have a look at the manager movement, see what's been happening in the Premier League recently. We've seen Sam Allardyce lose his job. He retired, that's why, as Bristol Rovers manager. Paul Lambert's moved in there, who left St Albans. Liam Britton left Boreham Wood, and in came Jamie Fullerton. John Stead left Wealdstone. Trevor Chalice came in. Let's go to the FA Cup then, which was won by Bristol Rovers 2-0 against Wrexham. They have really been dominant in the last few years. Patrick Bamford and Wilfred Bonney with the 2 goals in this final. Are Wrexham in the top division? They are. They finished 6th in fact, with Steve Bruce in charge. So Bristol Rovers, well done to them, fending off the traditional Premier League teams there to actually win, which is great to see. Who got to the semi? So Man City and Tottenham lost in the semi-final. Let's go down to the Capital One Cup, which is also won by Bristol Rovers on penalties against Premier League champions Lowestoft. That's a real rivalry between those two now. Those two are fighting it out to be the most dominant force in England. Tyler Blackett with the goal for Lowestoft and Ross Draper for Bristol Rovers, but they won them penalties. So the cup double for Bristol Rovers, well done to them. Community Shield, Arsenal beat Bristol Rovers 2-1. Johnston's Paint Trophy was won by West Brom on penalties against Arsenal in the final. English FA Trophy won by Wigan 2-1 against Fulham. And let's look at the Champions League then. Champions Cup, which was won by Bayern Munich against Real Madrid in the final, as you'd probably... a predictable final. Let's see how our English teams did. Bristol Rovers finished 3rd, so they dropped down just about as well. They dropped down to the Europa League, which we'll look at in a second. Stockport finished bottom of their group. There's only 2 teams now. We'll have a look at the coefficients and that sort of thing and see how many places they get nowadays. We'll look at the Euro Cup now, which was won by Roma. How far did our English teams get then? They didn't get to the quarters. Second knockout round possibly? Nope. I guess first knockout round for Lowestoft, losing against the Dnipro. Bristol Rovers got to this stage as well, losing against Red Bull Salzburg. So this is how much money you get for finishing in certain positions in the league. 31 million for first place. That's a lot of money for those top teams. A massive contrast between first and last, as you would expect. Let's look at the qualification for the Champions League. Now, we'll have a look in a minute when we go to the Europe coefficients and that sort of thing. Let's look at the stadiums first. So the biggest capacity is St Andrews for Shrewsbury, 29,409. But they're using the Birmingham Stadium at the moment, that's why. So Willstone have got a good sized stadium, so is Bishop Stortford, Harrogate. The smallest stadiums are the likes of Stockport, Tamworth, Chelmsford, but they've all been upgraded, haven't they? They needed to be upgraded to 12,500 because that's the minimum in the Premier League. So that may affect the finances of some teams, and they may struggle to start with because of that. So if we have a look at the England team, they're 16th in the world. The top clubs, Man United, Chelsea, City, Tottenham, West Ham and Swansea. But Bristol Rovers are up there now, and Lowestoft, which is good to see. Finances, Man United top still, Arsenal, Chelsea, Bristol Rovers 4th, Wrexham 5th, Harrogate 6th, Stockport 7th. Then it's just a mix of teams there, which is fantastic to see. Squad has various teams in there now. We've got a Barcelona B team, Eric Dyer in there. But Lowestoft have a player in there. Harry Kane, as you would expect, should be in there now. But that's the only team that you would be surprised by, I guess. But obviously, with the likes of this, what's happening on this save, you're not surprised by that. So the Premier League has dropped down to 4th place, which isn't too bad considering. Let's have a look at the clubs in Europe. So, biggest finance, PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Man United are up there, Arsenal. Bristol Rovers in 15th, that is great to see. Coefficients, any English teams? We've got Chelsea still in there, and Arsenal, and Tottenham, and Man United, Man City, Liverpool. Where's the highest unexpected team? Lowestoft are in 104th. So these are the qualification places. England have one team that automatically gets into the Champions League group stage. It's really dropped off, and one team gets through to the best place 3rd round qualifier thing. So that's it. There's only 2 places for Champions League now. In terms of Euro Cup, we've got 1 that goes through to the group stage automatically, 2 in the 3rd qualifying round. So it's not great for that, really, is it? I don't know what happens with the cup competitions. Is that Euro Cup? Maybe that's 3rd qualifying round, I don't know. But it's not ended well. But it may eventually make its way back up when we see Man United, Chelsea, Man City, those sort of teams get back up there with their big reputations and lots of money. But it would be nice to see Lowestoft, Bristol Rovers, those sort of teams do well in Europe. So hopefully in the next episode we'll see them doing reasonably well in Europe and making more big signings. Thanks for watching this episode. Please leave a like if you want part 4 to come out as quickly as possible. I'd be doing another 2 seasons. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, anything you spotted that you sort of found funny or interesting. And also subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching, guys.